Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of JailBreak Overlander. I'm Richie. This is JailBreak. You're inside my kitchen, and you may notice there's a couple of backpacks, Camelbacks, Mystery Ranch, so forth and so on. This is just my house. It's how I live. I've always been into hiking, camping, survivalism, prepping, etc., since I was a kid, and now I'm into overlanding and have been for about 10 years. At any rate, this video is going to be about bugging in. I've already done a video on surviving in cold weather, navigating through an urban environment. This video is going to cover storing water, food, fuel, electricity. Everything I'm going to show you in this video can be found below in the Amazon links. So use them or don't. So check this out. Okay, a lot of people asked for this video, and here it is. The problem is I need to hit 13 points in this video. So this video is going to be more than one part. So this is going to be part one. I made a list of the 13 points I wanted to cover. I will link this list in the comment section below. If you have any questions, hit me up. My email is right there. Please try to keep them relevant, and here we go. The first thing you're going to be concerned about is power. The ability to have the lights on or to power devices that you might find vital. There are a lot of different types of power storage devices and power making devices available, specifically batteries, rechargeable batteries, and solar power. I'm going to show you some of the units that I've used and I've had great success with over the years, and I'll leave links down below. Now, solar isn't the only option. There's a hand crank dynamo device that lots of people have used over the years, and these work quite well. Lots of companies offer hand crank dynamos that not only charge the device itself, but it allows you to charge other devices off of a USB. Goal Zero makes them, Free Play makes them. And here's something I almost forgot about. I've had this for years. It's called a pocket socket. They also make a version that looks like a set of bicycle pedals that you can produce energy. Whatever you could plug into a wall outlet, you can plug into the pocket socket, and it will charge them. Right here, I'm charging a 20-volt DeWalt battery, and right here, I'm charging an enormous power pack, and it works perfectly. As long as you can crank, it makes power. They also make a pedal version, like this young fellow is demonstrating right here, and you could store that power in devices like this, and you can supplement it with solar panels. There's tons of different types of lithium power packs, and there's also tons of videos on YouTube on how to make your own lithium low budget power pack like these. And these will run a refrigerator, a washing machine, a television. Well, maybe not a washing machine, but you get my drift. These work quite well. And then of course there's always gasoline and propane and solar powered portable generators like this. You can plug your house right into the side of these things, and it'll power a good majority of the building depending on the size. It's all up to you. It just depends how far you want to go with it and your level of preparedness. When you have these type of units, whether they be gasoline or propane, you have to store the gasoline, you have to store the propane, and there's certain considerations that come along with those. Again, I'll leave links below on how to store propane, how to store gasoline, etc. The last thing you want is to go for gasoline or your propane and it doesn't work. I've shown you a bunch of different methods. You can collect power in a variety of different ways. You can use large rigid panels, you can use small foldable portable panels, but I urge you to get the best you can afford because, believe it or not, cheap solar panels don't last very long and they lose their ability to make power quickly. The ways you can store power are endless. There's tons of videos on YouTube that show you how to make your own lithium power banks. You can tie everything directly into the panel of your house, or you can use small portable units like the one that I'm showing right here. Links will be below. Okay, the second most important thing in a bugging in situation is going to be water. Fill your bathtub with water. In previous videos, I've shown you the importance of filtering water no matter where it comes from. I use a big Berkey type water filter at my house, and I always have. I've used it for years. And I also have dozens of methods of storing water at my house. BPA-free containers as well as numerous Camelback bladders. This is going to come into play even more so in a bugging in situation. Have a method of filtering water. No matter where it comes from, water is going to play a huge part. You're going to need to store it. You're going to need it for hydration. You're going to need it for hygiene. You're going to need it for cooking, perhaps. Use whatever you can. The bathtub, milk cartons, anything that will hold water, put water in it. I'll also leave links so you can get devices that can hold water. But once you have water stored, it does not stay good indefinitely. You'll need to use Clorox bleach, unfragranced bleach. I'll leave links below so you can see how to do this. It's incredibly easy, but water does not stay good forever. There's also other methods of gathering rainwater, etc. I'll leave links below for that. And I'll also leave links on every type of device under the sun to put water in. But again, once water, it's just like fuel. It needs to be stabilized, so do that. Now the third thing is going to be food. Obviously, if you follow my other channels, you're familiar with this link. But the reason I put this link up is because, first of all, it's smart. They ship this food ready to cook in an emergency situation, and it's already in a container that allows it to be stored easily. You're also going to want vitamins. You're also going to want canned goods, things that'll last on the shelf a long time. Vitamins, canned goods, emergency food, and if you have pets, you may want to keep in mind they're going to need things just like you are. So again, I'll leave links for all these things in the description below. But you don't need, this is stuff you can get now, right now. And if you're serious about this, this is what you're going to want to do. Now is the time. Period. Don't wait till it's too late. Do you see what I'm saying? MREs are also a great way to go because they come with their own cooking device in the package. You can't beat that with a stick. But you don't want to live off freeze-dried food alone. Get things like flour, get things like rice, large bulk items, and have them ready. The less water, the less preparation a meal takes, the better. This is the kind of stuff you're going to be stuck with eating. That's all there is to it. The next thing we're going to look at is self-defense, personal protection. And that can start with something as simple as a Louisville Slugger, a baseball bat, or it can be a firearm, a long gun. But you have to ask yourself, do you have what it takes to pull the trigger in a shit hits the fan scenario? Is it truly a shit hits the fan scenario? These are questions you're going to have to ask yourself. There's also other methods that aren't quite as extreme. Things like tasers, things like stun guns. They make stun guns in every flavor there is available. There's also videos on YouTube where you can make your own stun gun out of a simple piece of tubing, some screws, a couple of batteries, etc. Links will be pinned in the comment section below. If you have a large piece of property, something you may want to look into are booby traps, tripwires, and snares. Again, links will be pinned in the comment section below. But you need to make sure that this is truly something that you want to do. Is this a shit hits the fan scenario? Are you going to end up in front of a clerk magistrate because you put tripwires all the way down your condominium hall? Make sure what you're doing makes sense. Make sure you're not going overboard. Some of these tripwires, etc., are to stop people. Some of these tripwires and etc. are early warning devices. They're simply alarms you can put up on the perimeter of your property to detect if somebody is actually trying to come harm you and yours. These are all things you're going to have to look long and hard at, but again, it can all start with something as simple as a baseball bat. For those of you that are more concerned with people getting in, if you do decide to board up your windows, make sure you board them from the inside. So if you have to, you can unscrew the boarding from the inside and get out. Keep a screw gun or a screwdriver handy. There's links below, and there's lots of methods for securing your doors that are very straightforward and very inexpensive. And these things absolutely work. Different types of lock bars, etc. Things like this right here that make it next to impossible to kick the door in. Or maybe it frustrates them enough that they simply move on, but it gives you an early warning system. So check these out. The next thing I want to talk about is first aid. Now, if you follow my channel for any length of time, you know that I am serious about first aid. I carry numerous first aid kits in my vehicle, and I don't carry them just for myself. I carry them in case I happen to come across somebody that is in danger or who's been hurt. My favorite kit to use is made by a company called AMP3. Now, they started out on YouTube years ago, and I followed them ever since. They make incredibly comprehensive kits. For under $100, you can get a kit to basically treat anything from a splinter to a gunshot wound. Everything is made in the United States. Everything is organized and well laid out so that when you need it, you can actually get to it. So I will leave a link below. The places that I travel and the things that I do, I carry first aid because I'm usually in a remote location. But just carrying first aid isn't good enough. If you want to carry first aid, you're going to want to learn to use things like a tourniquet. A tourniquet can absolutely, without a doubt, save your life. If you're losing blood, knowing how to properly apply and have a tourniquet can save you completely. Too many people have these things and they don't even know how to use them. Knowing how to apply first aid to another person or to yourself is going to be a paramount skill. Take the time that we have now and learn these things. There are classes that are available that are very inexpensive and usually free, and there's also people on the internet that can teach you how to apply first aid, CPR, etc. These are skills you're going to want to learn now, not after the lights go out. Now, the next thing we're going to look at covers a few things, but it's basically going to be personal hygiene and your health. You're going to want to get dust mask. N95, N100. Amazon sells a lot of reusable masks that you can use and put new filters in as you need them. So grab those. Another thing you're going to want to put a lot of time and consideration is medications. How many medications do you take, and do you absolutely need them? If you do, make sure you stock up on them. And if you can't stock up on them, find an alternative to them. Period. In a world without rule of law, pharmacies, etc. are going to be closed. You're going to need to figure out how to get around this, one way or the other. The amount of people addicted to drugs in the United States is ridiculous. If you have a drug habit and you plan on bugging in or out, you need to deal with it now. For those that are on medications from their doctor, you need to find out which ones you can and can't live without and find an alternative. I will leave links pinned in the comment section so you can actually do the research for yourself. This is going to be incredibly important. Nobody's any good to anyone if they're strung out or sick because they don't have their medications. Period. So that's going to do it for part 1. I'm going to do another part to this series. It's going to be a 2-part series on bugging in. But what I'm showing you right now are some common items you're going to want to have a lot of. Things like wire ties or zip ties, duct tape, trash bags, things you don't really think too much of right now, but in a world without rule of law, these things will become incredibly valuable. Things like feminine hygiene, baby wipes, diapers, etc. Think about what it would be like if you couldn't go food shopping for an entire month. Things you would want to stock up on. Being prepared is more than simply buying a bunch of items, throwing them into a bag. You need to know how to use them. Become familiar with them. Spend time that you would normally spend watching television or watching sports and watch prepping videos. Learn how to do things that you normally wouldn't do for yourself. Fishing, skinning, Realizing what the weather is going to be for the day and how to dress, because in a world without rule of law, all these things are going to become incredibly important. Again, if you take medications, find out what safe alternatives there are available. Find out if the medications that you're on are something you actually even need, because we live in America, the most overprescribed country in the world, and that is just a fact. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave as many links as humanly possible in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment below, and I will get back to you. I'm out.